Okay, here's a little side step here, and we're gonna prep an area and we're gonna test some colors and some color schemes. So, wow, I'm gonna just clear coat that, trim it out in black. No one will be able to replace that paint job. But anyway, we're gonna play with some paint today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just wet sand a couple areas, and we're gonna play with some color combinations. I have some ideas in my head, and we're just gonna see what it looks like. So stay tuned. Okay, so when we do this, what we're doing is we're keeping it wet. So in this bottle right here is water, but there's soap mixed up in there. The reason we're putting soap on there is because part of the process to prepare the surface by sanding it is also to get clean of any grease and oil spots that are going to cause your paint to fisheye on you. So, but again, this is an off-road vehicle. This is not going to see SEMA. It's not going to see some magazine cover. It's going to see the fucking desert. That's what it's going to see. So we don't care about that. So don't get your hopes up too high. I'm not trying to build it down. We'll make it look nice. They always come out nice. But remember, this is an off-road vehicle. Don't be uber critical, and if you're doing it yourself, you can still do this and have a good looking vehicle. So let's get this going. I'm going to show you how to do it. Yo, dog. All right, guys, when you're doing this, it's very lightly. You're letting the sandpaper do the work, okay? This is a 400 grit. It's wet sand. This is almost like washing a car, okay? Really what we're trying to do here, we're just trying to get off the oxidation, any dirt, any old bird shit, piece of grease, oil, something like that. And we're just trying to make that nice and smooth so that this next coat of paint that we're going to put on is going to stick, and it's going to adhere better. It's going to lay down better, and it might even give you a better finish. But remember, this is a 25-year-old vehicle. Its whole purpose in life is to go out and play in the desert. That's all it is. So we're not going to make some show car here today. We're just going to make things work like you're supposed to. The whole idea of paint, remember, is to protect your metal. And that's what the goal is here. We can make it look kind of good, or somebody turn their head. I guess that's a plus. But there's not too many people out in the desert going to be cheering you on as you're bouncing through off of a cactus or something, or rolling this thing down into a wash. Usually when those things happen, you're by yourself. So anyway, it's just like washing a car. That's it. Just nice and easy. Let the sandpaper work. See, you don't want to get it all gummed up. See it? Nice and easy. Keep it wet. There we go. When you get that area done, pick up your hose. Put that down. Pick up your hose. Rinse her off. Don't let her dry. You don't want that soap to dry on there either. This is bad. Okay? So there you go. And you can probably look here, see if I can get you at an angle. See that reflection? See when you're doing good, get a nice reflection on that water, okay? Now for this project, I actually have a clear that I got, because if the paint does come out good, I'm gonna protect it with some clear. But it's a satin clear. I don't want shiny shit. No shiny shit, nothing reflective. Okay, it's not what we do. These are also bug out vehicles. You know, these are, shit hits the fan kind of thing. Load up, get the fuck out. This is another reason why we use these budget vehicles right here. When this thing runs out of gas and a world crisis, that's it. This becomes your home as far as it is, wherever it went. So, or you're gonna have to abandon it, or you're gonna have to leave it. You don't want to spend $50,000 on a side-by-side, or $80,000 on a ridiculously built, big name off-road vehicle, because you're gonna end up abandoning it. And if you're not going to abandon it in an end of the world situation, or shit hits a fan situation, someone's going to take it from you. That's all it's going to be. Someone's going to take it from you. That's how it's going to work. So anyway, just have a little fun with this. We're just going to go out, we're going to play around, and we're going to do this at home. We're going to save a little bit of money, and we're going to get her done, and we're going to protect our finish. Okay? Cool. All right, that's it. What do you think? Is that our color? Huh. Flat black. The other thing about this flat black, when you put like armor all over it, it gives it a little bit more richer, but still it doesn't have that shine that you would get even with the satin black. This flat black, but the other problem with the flat black is it gets dirty really, really easy. But then again, see, it tones down that twisted copper. So, and it makes that twisted copper kind of work a little bit. So Might try that. All right, let me see. Maybe we'll go for the hood next. Wow, I've trimmed so much fender. Just notice I've trimmed so much fender that I don't even have a place. I'm gonna end up having to cut that. Wow, that's too bad because that's a nice grill. It's hard to find these grills anymore. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna drop this hood. I'm gonna finish wet sanding the hood, and I'm gonna put a little bit more color up there and see what we get. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do some two-tone stuff here. So what I'm doing is there is a paint effect that I want back here, and this right here is gonna be black up to here. The tailgate, I might do all black, but I might come in and do a inset of the twisted copper. So so this is going to be black here, this will be black here, this will be black here, this is going to be twisted copper in here. This might leave me some space for some lettering or whatever, some bullshit. So, and we'll try that. And then right here, this is going to drop down to right here, and then it's going to take a sweep down. And we'll do it that way. This will be black, this down here will be black. So we're just waiting for the delivery truck to show up and bring us our damn paint. All right, real quick. So we've got our two-tone or our graphics kind of taped off where we want them and how that's going to work. So let me get in here a little closer for you. So maybe a little closer. Okay, so yeah, it's too close. There we go. This is going to be black. It's going to drop down and be black. Okay. We leave this orange. This is all going to stay the same copper color. All right. This is going to be black. Black. The whole bottom down here. This is all going to be black. Down here, we're going to come up here. This is going to go black here. Black. This is going to remain twisted copper. We're going to go black here. I actually like that. But we're going to come back black. And then what we're going to do, a tailgate, is we're going to run this as well. And I'm probably going to take and put a stripe. So basically, you're going to have this thickness here along the tailgate all the way. And then beneath it will be the twisted copper. There's going to be a gap right here, maybe right to the edge here. Right here, right to the edge. And around. We'll trace it. So the outline will be black, right here, like that, up to here. And this, remember, is going to go that way. And then this in here, this fill, will all be the twisted copper. I may take this off right here and do it in black. And then the spare tire mount that goes right here, that'll be done in black. So that ought to give me some pretty good contrast back here. So the middle of this will be twisted copper, outlined in black. And this will be black as well. And then what we'll do is we will, when we get to this side, we will repeat the graphics. So this one you would think would be a little bit easier because we've already figured it out on the other side, but to make a match, there's a lot of measurements that have to go on here. To take the measurements from the other side to put on here, where the original side is just normally done, you're eyeballing it, what feels good, what looks good, that kind of stuff, and then you got to duplicate it on the other side. So, but remember, don't beat yourself up. This is an off-road vehicle. It's going to go get scratched up, dinged up, dented up. We're not going to SEMA. There's no damn car show. So we're just having fun. There's nothing wrong with having a little fun, okay? Okay, so just wet sand at the top, wiped it down, dried it off with our tack rag, and now we're gonna go ahead and paint this bad boy, okay? This is where we're at now. Okay, there we go. And the top's now all painted black. There we go. We'll get some clear on there or something. Okay, so I'm thinking I should probably get me a little footage here before I start making changes here. But basically, I'm just not liking how this is coming out. So I'm playing around with some different ideas. I'm trying to change it up a little bit. It's just that the black just became overbearing, and it started to take on an ominous look. And I'm not really into the whole dark and ominous shit, so this didn't seem as fun. So anyway, I've tried different things here, trying to figure out what it is I want to do here to break up that black. But I think what's going to happen is we're just going to go back and we're just going to do an urban camouflage on this thing. And we're still going to use the orange and the black as primary colors, but we're going to do an urban camouflage, okay? It's not exactly a tactical camouflage because there's absolutely nothing tactical about orange. So we'll call it an urban camouflage. Anyway, that's what we're going to go for. But I thought I would get some footage to see where I've played around with different colors and different schemes. You know, chicken wire, you know, spraying through chicken wire. There's some desert beige. There's some gray. There's some orange, burnt orange. So anyway, we're going to make some changes, and we're going to see what we can come up with. All right, guys, here we go. You know, normally when we do these things, you know, you see the before and then you see the after, and you rarely see a lot of the in between. A lot of it's because I can't hold the camera and work with two hands at the same time, and I'm not really good at this yet. But anyway, I wanted to show you this because this is the same bullshit that you're going to go through. See, I'm trying to find that right balance between these colors and stuff. I don't want it to look cheap. That's the thing. I don't want it to look cheap. And I'd rather just go with a solid color before I let it go cheap. And but I have some more ideas. But as you can see here, I've tried different things. I've cut out templates. I've got overspray still, you know, and getting your tape to make these curves, you know, isn't really good. You got overspray. A lot of that wet sand off when we wet sand it. But it just has that, I don't know, kind of a dark look to it, and I don't really care for it. So here we tried some different things with some of the flat colors that I normally use, like a desert khaki or a desert beige or a desert sand color, and trying to see what the effects of you know, some chicken wire would do. So I get in there close so you can see it, and on the different colors and shadowing and shading and those kinds of things. And then down here the same thing, and you kind of get an idea of what I was thinking about. But you know, I just don't really have this yet, so I'm trying to find that balance. So what we're gonna do next, and here I haven't you know, this is still from the Expedition scheme, and this side I haven't screwed it up too bad, so that's still salvageable from there. I brought this down, but this is throwing off the balance, actually. So in a traditional, actual, real-life military type of camo, you're going to put your darker colors on the corners and on the edges, because that's what you want to break up. You want to break up those lines that will define what your vehicle is, or if you're a threat or not. So, but this isn't a military thing. This is I don't know, trying to make it pop a little bit, giving it a little wow, and you go with that. And that's what we're trying to do. Just give it a little bit of wow. Somebody goes ooh ah, turns their head or something. But you have to remember, this is a tracker, you know, Sidekick. You know, you're only going to get so much out of this, and you know, some people push them past that. But once they start doing that, then I'm not sure they're a Sidekick or a tracker anymore. You start throwing solid axles up under these things, I think you just got a buggy. You know, it's not a Samurai, it's not a Jeep, it's a tracker. It's an IFS front suspension. When you change that, then it's not a tracker, it's not a Suzuki, it's just a buggy. So that's the way I look at it. So you're limited based on this design, but this design is done quite well, and it's an awesome trail runner for sure. And the value is there. The value is there based on, you know, when you look at the price and what you get out of it and what you can do. I mean, this thing is 25 years old and it's getting reborn again, you know. So there's something to be said about that. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, because you guys don't see this stuff. These are the outtakes. This is the shit that you don't see. So I want you to be able to see this stuff, irregardless of how this ends up turning out. I've got some ideas. I'm gonna give it one more shot today, and if that doesn't work, then it's gonna go black top and twisted copper bottom, and that's it. Two-tone with a gray pinstriping in between, and that's gonna be it. Nice and simple and clean. So, but I got some ideas. I do want to make it jump a little bit, but we're gonna see what happens today. So we'll get back to you. All right, so you can see there's a lot of taping. So trying to get this fat 1-inch wide square tape to do curves and stuff is quite a challenge. So you can expect that it's going to be some touch up at the end if we end up going this route. But if this doesn't work out in the hood, that's it for me. We're done. I'm done playing with this. I spent a week trying to figure out this paint scheme that would work and complement it and not look stupid or tacky, and most of all cheap. I don't want it to look cheap. So we're gonna go for it, but I just want to show you there's a lot of taping going on here. So all right guys, problem after problem after problem. So some of these paints don't go well with other paints. So when I'm taking a flat and I'm putting over a gloss, this is what's happening. So I forgot all about that. I was just grabbing colors and I really wasn't paying attention. So now that's all got to be sanded and scuffed and buffed out, and not buffed, but cleaned up. So here's another one. So I've already sanded that. Had to take some damn 80 grit and sand that because I had that weird color here, which was a gloss. And the black seemed to cover it fine, a flat black. But this metal flake on this heat resistant paint is not going well with this. It doesn't like it, and it bubbles and cracks. And you can see here in this whole corner, I've already had to sand and tear this down, and I'm gonna have to start over on this corner right here. And it's terrible. And when I look at that, I'm thinking, boy, if I could just clear coat that, we'd be rocking right there. But so this whole corner's got to be redone. So this is a Rattle Cam paint job from hell. And at least I wanted you to see. I don't want to hide none of this shit and just show you a finished product and go ooh ah. No, this is a major pain in the ass. Major pain in the ass. So, but I think that if we can pull it off, it'll be pretty good. It'll look pretty good. But it's just going to take a lot of work on it and a lot of patience. And I really don't have that much patience. But we're going to keep going. And we're too close to see what it does. I want to get her done, push her back out in the sun, and I'll make a judgment call from there. And we cleaned it up with 80 grit. So nice and coarse, 80 grit. We're doing it by hand. And then we followed it up with a good 220. Got it kind of smooth. And then we just finished it up with a 400 and did a nice wipe down on it and got her clean. And now I'm going to hit it with some flat black. So this is the one over here. We did the same, had a little primer in there going. That's about to get sanded, to get retaped and repainted. Then I've just got these right here that I've already hit with the 80. And I'm going to come back and hit it with the 220 and then the 400. And then we're going to go ahead and fill that back in with some paint. So screw up like this is a major setback, and it is a ton of work. Ton of work. I actually like this color. I should just clear coat that corner right there and leave it alone. So, all right, guys. So I want to lay the pattern out just to take a look, but I got to tell you, this is just not working for me. It looks cluttered. It looks tacky. I mean, I'll sand it down and put a sealer on it. I'll round out, a lot of the black camo patterns. I can adjust shapes a little bit. But I don't know, this is just not doing it for me. And it looks tacky. It looks cheap. That's what it is. There's no other way to saying it. It looks cheap. And I don't want it to be cheap. So, I mean, it's hard enough when you're out there, a Geo Tracker or a Suzuki Sidekick, and you gotta run the same trail right next to a 2024 Ford Bronco or a Jeep Gladiator or a Samurai. and you look like shit. So this Jurassic Park shit is just not working for me. So I'm probably gonna, at least we tried, gave it a shot, and I just don't care for it at all. So we're gonna get rid of this. We're not gonna do this. Just doesn't really work. So this was the side where we were trying to match up the paint scheme to the Expedition, and I thought that didn't work either. So yeah, I think we're done with this camo shit. At least you can see we gave it a shot. All right, it's getting to be that time of day. The sun's going down, so I thought I would get you guys some video to update you. We haven't talked much about the body, but we'll go ahead and check it out. Well, we can a little bit. The sun's going to be in our eyes really bad, though. There we go. So basically, this is a twisted copper color. It's not orange, but it looks orange, but it's actually a burnt copper instead of a burnt orange. So, and then it's got a flat black here, burnt orange here, and then pinstriped with a gray, just a gray, and that's it. So the color does jump. It's actually flat, but because it's metal flake, you're getting a lot of looks out of it. So a lot of shine or reflection anyway because of the metal flake. So I haven't pinstriped this. I got to pinstripe this still, and then I got to put my tire mount back on and my license plate light cover back on, and then we'll get that going. The top is all painted. It's black. It's kind of yucky looking though. I'm not sure if I'm going to clear this or not, but there's a few areas I got to still hit that didn't come out very good. And you can see my shadow in it. So we'll get you some better video here in a few minutes when the sun goes down a little bit more. So there we go. Really kind of got tired of all the camo crap and messing with that and the problems with the paint and those kinds of things. Really did want to do a tactical camo on it, but maybe the next one. Maybe the next one. We got a 92 coming up after this one. This is my tin top. I think this is a good color combination, black on the top and twisted copper on the bottom. And again, this is just the sun going down and it's reflecting off of this twisted copper color. It's actually a burnt copper. I call it twisted copper. So this is the color we used to use on all of our body lifts that we used to sell. So anyway, that's what it looks like now. The inside, we're going to start working on the inside next. There's a couple of areas out here that I need to touch up still, and we'll take care of that. There it is. Looking kind of good. All right, there we go. Sun's going down, so it's not going to be so bright as it was. But this is a paint scheme that we came up with, two-tone. Top is a flat black, and the bottom is a twisted copper, or a burnt copper, actually. So it hasn't been wet sanded yet, and it hasn't been clear coated or sealed or anything yet. But you can kind of see the color here and the color combination. It looks pretty good, actually. It's not initially what I was going to go for, but this looks a little cleaner, and the thing about it is it doesn't look cheap, and that was a problem that I was having with the camo patterns and stuff. It just looked cheap. It was a pain in the ass, and if I had more time I could have done it and done a better job. But for this tin top, I think this is the best paint scheme for it. So we're going to go with this for a while. And who knows, maybe in a few weeks, 6 more cans of Rattle Cam paint and we'll change it to another color. So, but this is what we decided to go with. So I still got to get that nasty window tint out of there. But this is the best part of the day because the sun's going down, but it's still light enough to film. so you can actually see it. We also divided it with a gray pinstriping, as you can see here, and that made the colors jump a little bit. So there's actually a satin clear that I might be able to throw on here after I wet sand it and touch it up a little bit and see what I need to do with it. So, but that's it right there. I think that'd be just fine. So now we can get to work on the interior next, building a box for the back, those kinds of things. Oh, that's right, I still gotta put this on here. I need to pinstripe this, and I got my spare tire mount that I've got to put back on there as well. So fuel tanks, got a couple of things that still need to be hooked up on it. So, but you know, I'm happier with this. The colors before were just becoming too dark, and it was just soaking up all that copper. And now you can see it actually looks kind of good now. So, and I think that's a pretty good balance. So we'll figure out the clear, if we want a gloss clear or a satin clear, you know, or a flat sealer of some kind on it, and then we'll go with that. So just want to give you a chance to take a look at it and see what we're doing so far, see how much progress we got going. So anyway, there she is.